honest, like quit my business like so many times the last 2 years. And I'm just so thankful that like I have been re-inspired by like everything that I've gone through, and I'm showing up better for myself. I'm showing up like my most truest self, and that's actually what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. And I just thought it was so fitting right after last week's episode, because like we talked a little bit about anxiety and how we act when we are acting or reacting, I should say, through anxiety. We're not really ourselves. How do you get there? Like, maybe you know who you are, but you're just like, it's been so long, and how do I get this bitch back? No, I should say, how do I get myself back? Happy Wednesday, you guys. Welcome back to the Lily Paulina podcast. This is Lily. For those of you that are new here, I am a teenage mom turned hairdresser, turned business owner, turned celebrity artist, turned Pravana educator, and now entrepreneur. It seems like I'm so happy you guys are here. This podcast, we're going to be talking about self-love, self-development, and just what I've learned and all my lessons that I've learned through life, and my perspective, and how God has been heavily involved in my life. And I'm so thankful that I am learning to surrender, and the more I surrender, the more he does. So I am here to hopefully re-inspire you guys to pick up that relationship with our creator, and for you guys to live your life abundantly. I feel like you never really get yourself back. It's just a better edited edition of yourself. At least for me, it's been that way. If I give you guys a freaking timeline, which, by the way, you guys, oh my God, there's this really good podcast, and if I find it, I am definitely going to link it in the show notes, but it's the girl that came out in Seinfeld or whatever. And she has this podcast that she only, like, it's her, and it's a bunch of interviews of a badass woman. And these women are like over, I believe, 60 or something. Like, she refuses to interview people like under 40 or something like that. I can't remember. But she's like, oh my God, we disregard, like, these women are not seen as beautiful over a certain age. And I thought it was so interesting, like, how she was like, these women are so beautiful still, and they're aging gracefully, and they are successful women, and they have like all this untapped knowledge, because they're like just kind of put to the side over a certain age. And it's interesting because she was saying like men are like more easily accepted as they're older. It's not dissing one thing or another. Like, we all have our things, and I am so pro men and women, like, I'm just pro human and being nice to each other. You guys don't make it fucking complicated. The first episode was with Jane Fonda, which I freaking fell in love with right after Monster-in-Law with freaking, of course, J-Lo. And they fucking killed it, And it's really interesting because yesterday was actually the day I was supposed to record this episode, but as life would have it, when you're not trying to control things, and, something exciting really happened yesterday. I got on a call with one of my, like, we go back some years. We both started, we're both educators. Well, I'm not an educator anymore. Like, I took a much needed, like, mental break because I was doing so much, you guys. Like it came to the point where I was like pregnant, the pandemic, like I couldn't operate my business, and then it was like a high risk pregnancy, and then like newborn, and then like getting back to my hormones getting all back into place, freaking losing the weight, and it's like, oh shoot, the whole industry changed, like, so crazy. Like, I love it because it made me dive into marketing, which, you guys, I'm really excited to just marketing. Like, not only did I fall in love again with my industry, but I also found this old love story apparently between me and marketing, because as far as I remember, when I was a little girl, yes, I was the one that had like the shoes that had to match the bag and the lip gloss, but I also had fake money in there, freaking notebooks, like the pens, special pens, like the whole nine. And it's crazy because I was always so like passionate even as a little girl, and goes to show even back then, like I would love to play the tiendita, but I also would love to like set up like music videos and reenactments. Like me and my friends were always the ones that were coming up in talent shows. Yes, you guys, I'm that old. I am so happy I went through that though. But yeah, so anyways, I'm getting off the point here. Jane Fonda in that interview said, I really recommend, because she's kind of like, the whole purpose of it is like, okay, like if you die tomorrow, like what is the one thing that you would want to make sure that your grandchildren and your bloodline like understand or you leave behind? And obviously it's not money, right? So it's all these fucking gems. And one of them was like, like pretty much along the lines is the story you tell becomes your reality, and it's based off of life events. She's like, I highly suggest that everybody, the earlier the better, does like a life edit pretty much, since like the earliest memory to the most recent memory, what the event was, when it was, and what that means to you. And if it's not an empowering event or a powerful meaning, for you to rewrite that story. And I actually did that, you guys. It was really, really powerful. I definitely have to say that it has helped me look at myself a lot different. And like, I don't know, like lately, you guys, like I feel like I'm getting to know myself more, but also what even more cool than that is like I'm like learning to like love and accept myself. And I mean, not the good parts where I'm like showing up and I'm like, really inspired and I'm like looking all cute and stuff, but also the parts where she's trying to figure it out and it's still messy in the middle and things like that. And it really pays off, and if I can challenge you guys, or if you guys pick up a challenge before the new year ends, is like becoming real with yourself. Like get a journal, get a pen, and just fucking let it out. Like, yes, go back to fucking middle school diaries and just start, like, especially all the negative stuff, like write that shit out, and write a timeline, especially if you've gone through some stuff. It's really important to make sure that you're clear on the story that you're telling yourself. We went into this a little bit in the last episode, but you're not going to be clear about what story you're telling yourself and anything that I just talked about if you don't edit, like, literally your environment. Not only the stuff that you're putting in your body, the things that you're watching, but making sure that your environment is clean, that you are a certain way, like, you need to start having those things always in check, because if they're not in check, it might seem like, oh, like, I didn't get dressed up today, or like, oh, my house is just a little messy in the living room or something. But no, dude, like, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So edit everything, even the freaking doors. Trust me, you guys, it makes such a freaking difference. And then, so this episode, I was like, what should it be about? What should it be about? I was kind of stuck on it, but it hit me that I really feel that it had to be about like how we all know what to do, but we're still stuck in not progressing or being in the life that we want. And it's because our truest selves isn't running the show. So who's running the show? And it all ties back down to the life timeline that I was telling you guys about, that I heard through that podcast, that I highly, highly suggest that you guys do, because that's literally what you do, is your youngest memory to your most recent memory, what it was, and then the meaning that you have put behind it. And if it's not empowering, to literally rewrite your whole story, your whole meaning behind what that means, because whatever happened to us and the meaning we put behind it, is what it is. So sometimes I feel like we forget that we can literally be like, fuck this shit, it's not working, and just like rewrite what we're fucking doing. So when I am like talking to you guys about journaling, I have to think, right? Like, how is it that I was talking to my friend the other day, she was like, Lily, you're like the only person that I know that her life is a constant miracle. Like, I'm a fucking walking miracle. Like, I fucking kid, but I'm not kidding. Like, and I had to like really think about that, you know? And I was like, there has to be some madness, some method to the madness, right? Isn't there always? And I think this is a method. It's journaling, meditating, and faith through prayer. So a couple of different things. The journal, like highly suggest that you guys get like not a special expensive journal or whatever, but just a special journal that is just for you to check in with yourself, and get a special pen and have a certain corner and a certain candle that you guys light up when you guys are doing this. I do this on Monday. I call it my thinking time, like where I really dive in, like, into check in with myself. And besides that, I do like a quick 5 to 10 minute journaling after my daily meditation, which I highly suggest. If you guys have been like in between the lines of meditation, this is your freaking sign. Do it, because it literally rewires your brain. I had my foot in and out of meditation for such a long time, and I finally like ripped the band-aid off. And let me tell you guys, they say habits come together, whether they're good or bad. And once I crossed this habit off of daily meditation, just this one thing of 8 minutes a day for 8 weeks, once I crossed that thing off, and there is a reason between those numbers that I'm telling you guys right now, it literally helped me out with journaling, with my weight, with everything. So one thing at a time, you guys, but it makes such a difference. So the reason why I'm saying for 8 weeks, 8 minute meditation daily is because my friend that is a meditation teacher like read this article about how literally like that's all it takes for your brain to get out of the survival mode. And what I mean by faith through prayer is literally like just gratitude prayers. Like, God knows what you need. Just thank him for solving this journey you're on, like guiding you on this journey you're on, and giving you all the resources and all the wisdom and all the people that are gonna take you to where you're going safely. You know, like, that's when it counts. Like, my brother and I talk a lot, and sometimes we're like going through it, you know, and he's reminding me, where I'm reminding him, like, estamos echando putazos. We fucking say that shit, but it's like when we're like fighting life back, you know, like life is fighting us, and we're like, no, fuck you, life. No, we are gonna meditate. We're gonna work out. We're gonna fucking do the work no matter what's going on, you know, like, that's when it fucking matters. When life is kicking your ass is when you're supposed to have the most faith in God, you know? Like, our life circumstances always change, always. But our life energy, which is us, and who God created, and the life energy that created us, like, that always stays the same no matter what. Like, the God that created worlds and created us, power is like unmeasurable, you know? Like, so we got to just remember that when we're going through it, that's when it matters the most. So something so simple but not easily done, especially when you're going through it, but it is possible, with all like this as your foundation, you know? Like, this is doing the work, you guys. Doing the work is being present in the thoughts that are happening, and realizing where those thoughts are coming from, or if it's telling you to do something, your next step, you know, because when you become the watcher of your thoughts, when you become the owner of your house, there can't be no intruders. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So this was it.